When someone dies and returns, the first question is always, are they okay? But no one asks the question that comes next. Are they still the same person? Tonight, we explore the truth that near-death experiencers carry quietly. They come back alive, but they rarely come back as the person they were before. Dreams shift, values collapse, old identities fall away like shed skin. Relationships strain under the weight of a self that has outgrown its life. And somewhere deep inside, there's a quiet realization, I don't know who I am anymore. I'm Candy, and this is Half Haunted Chronicles. Returning from death isn't like waking from a coma or recovering from surgery. It's a reboot, a realignment, sometimes a rebirth. Researchers call the identity shift transformational aftereffects, but experiencers describe it differently. I didn't fit into my life anymore. I couldn't pretend to be who I was. My marriage didn't survive the new me. I felt like a stranger in my own skin. I came back, but the version of me that left never returned. This isn't depression, it's metamorphosis. And like all transformations, it can be beautiful and devastating. Here are some of those stories of 3 lives returned, but no longer the same. The woman who lost her career overnight. A corporate attorney named Dana had an NDE after her aneurysm. Before her experience, she lived for status, fancy suits, corner offices, winning arguments. Afterward, she couldn't step into a courtroom without shaking. She said the words looked wrong, like they belonged to someone else's script. Her priorities didn't shift, they imploded. She quit her job within 6 months, sold half of her belongings, and became a hospice volunteer. Her husband didn't understand. Her co-workers didn't understand. Her friends thought she was having a breakdown. But Dana said, I wasn't broken, I was different. And different doesn't fit into old containers. The marriage that didn't survive. A man named Peter flatlined during heart surgery. Before the NDE, he was stern, strict, emotionally distant, a lifelong atheist. After the NDE, he became warm, gentle, deeply spiritual, quick to cry, quick to laugh. His wife said, you came back a stranger. She didn't mean it cruelly. She meant it truthfully. They tried therapy. They tried reconnecting. They tried pretending. But the gap widened. 2 years later, they divorced. Peter said, she married my old self. I came back someone new. They remained friends, but the marriage could not survive the transformation. The child who didn't remember being human. A boy named Liam nearly drowned at age 8. When he returned, he didn't recognize his toys. He didn't recognize his room, didn't understand jokes he used to tell. He spoke differently, softly, slowly, like choosing words was suddenly important. His mother said it was like raising 2 sons, the boy who left and the one who came back. Liam grew into a compassionate teenager but rarely talked about his NDE. One night, he finally said, I didn't know how to be a person. I remember what it felt like not to be one. The man who became afraid of mirrors. After a car crash, a musician named Ren had a blissful near-death experience, light, love, connection. Returning was the hard part. He couldn't look into mirrors without feeling a jolt of disorientation, like the reflection was delayed by a fraction of a second, or didn't match the person inside. He avoided autographs, stopped performing on stage, stopped video calls with friends. He said, my face didn't feel like the self I brought back. He eventually worked through it, but the disconnect lingered for years. A woman who started speaking in metaphors. A woman named Sue survived a stroke at 40 and returned with an unusual change. She could no longer speak in simple, straightforward sentences. Everything came out poetic. She described emotions as colors, days as textures, people as climates. Her coworkers didn't know how to respond. Her family grew frustrated. Her friends drifted away. Her therapist finally said, you speak like someone who doesn't remember how to be small. Sue said, the words feel different after you've died. Everything does. Here are 3 creepy facts to haunt your day. Some people develop an aversion to artificial light, saying it feels dead compared to the light they experience. Others lose all fear of death, which psychologists say is one of the strongest human instincts. A few survivors say they have memory gaps around electronics or bright lights, moments of missing time. This episode might be the most human of the whole season, because the truth is, dying isn't the hard part. Coming back is. Coming back to bills, to routines, the same walls, to the people who expect the old version of you, to a life that feels too tight for the person you become. Near-death experiencers don't just return changed, they return expanded. And expansion doesn't fit neatly into the life that was waiting for them. But here's the part that no one talks about. The new self isn't worse. It isn't broken. It isn't lost. It's more compassionate, more intuitive, more awake, more curious, and more present. And yes, more alone sometimes, because becoming unrecognizable is painful, but it's also the first step to becoming fully yourself. Tonight, we explore the identity shift that near-death experiencers carry for the rest of their lives. But next time, we go even deeper when experiencers begin to sense their purpose, the mission they were sent back to fulfill, and the reason they didn't stay on the other side. Until then, stay curious and always, always stay haunted.